When I got to my property in May of 2024, I realized quickly I was going to need some place to put my laptop in order to do my day job. I didn't have a desk, and so that meant building one from scratch. Luckily, my brother Matt provided this piece of butcher block, which I was then able to take into my tent, place roughly in the position where I wanted the desk to be, and scribe to the inside walls of the tent so that it would fit tightly against the canvas tent. I had a piece of 4x4 left over from the previous year's deck build, and so I turned that using mortise and tenon joints into this eye support for one end of the desk. This is my first mortise and tenon joint. It's a true mortise and tenon with maple pins made from saplings cut from the side of the hill, and I'm pretty proud of it. There's a little bit of a gap there, as you can see at the bottom, but for the most part the joints are tight, it doesn't wiggle, and it is super strong. With one end sorted out and the desktop handled, I needed to build something to hold up the other end of the deck. So I quickly found some scrap lumber and used that to build a small bookshelf. This bookshelf would wind up holding my Starlink router and cabling, as well as the power cables for my EcoFlow battery systems. Unfortunately, while I was recording all this and undoubtedly talking about detailed information that was useful, my microphone's cut out on me, and so none of that got recorded. Essentially, I was going to put together any of the pieces that you could not see using pocket screws. They're strong, they make an excellent connection, they're sloppy looking, but as long as the joint is hidden, it looks essentially as though it's glued together with no fasteners. So, with help from my brother and Cooper sniffing around the background, making sure we were on the up and up, I got to work quickly putting together this small bookshelf. After realizing the top and the bottom would not be visible, the top because it's going to be facing up and touching the bottom of the desk, and the bottom because it's going to be on the floor, I decided the easiest way to attach the sides to the top and bottom is just to pre-drill and drop some screws on either side. The shelf that'll sit in the middle will need to have some pocket holes to keep those joints hidden, but the other joints will just be naturally hidden by the construction. You can see here, after we've gone through the effort of making sure we line everything up, I forgot which end connects to which board, but we finally get it lined up and we get to screw it together. These back supports are just pre-drilled and screwed to the back of the bookshelf just to stabilize it and to keep it from racking. It'll also serve to hold like taller items from falling back into the area underneath the desk where my feet are going to be. You can see here how the pocket holes work. The pocket hole jig allows you to drill down in at an angle. You set the thickness of the board and the depth of the board that you're screwing into, and that sets the entire thing up. Then the board that I'm going to be using for the shelf will be flipped over, and those holes that you saw so noticeably will be on the bottom of the shelf where they won't be visible. I'm taking the internal measurement here to try and roughly split the difference between the top and the bottom. This is just a desk that I'm going to be using to sit at. The shelves are not very deep, so I'm not going to store a whole lot. Cooper is once again inspecting my work and telling me I'm doing a good job. Once I get the rough measurement of where I want to place it, thank you, Cooper, I will use special pocket hole screws to connect the board to the side pieces. I think you get a better vision of how it's going to work here. This is looking up from the bottom of the bookshelf. So you can see those pocket hole screws, while visible from this angle, won't be visible at all once the desk is connected together. Just like that, with the addition of some cross supports and a shelf, the bookshelf is completed. I lined it up in line with the I-frame with the chair in between to try and get the rough spacing to see if I wanted to leave any kind of an overhang or lip. I secured the two legs to the bottom of the desk using GRK construction screws. Maybe a little bit overkill for this, but I wanted to make sure that this desk was tightly attached to the legs. I also used some more pocket hole screws through the sides on the inside where they wouldn't be visible. The combination of the GRKs and the pocket holes made a strong attachment to the top of the desk, so this isn't going anywhere. The entire desk is sanded to 120 grit, and a coat of Danish oil finishes it off. So in a couple of short days, with some scraps of lumber that I had laying around from projects last year, I was able to build a useful desk that's been serving me well for the last 4 months. I got here May 20th. The desk was done by the beginning of June. It's now September. I'm glad I did this project and many of the others, including a picnic table, a refurb on the shower, and a floor in the kitchen, as well as several stone projects, and on and on. I've been taking lots of video and I apologize for not being able to provide you with weekly updates, but as the season winds down and fall closes in, I have more time to edit these videos into a usable form. I hope that you'll stick around and continue to watch these videos, and let me know in the comments if you like these build videos or if you prefer more adventure videos like my hike to Owl's Head and the upcoming video I'm going to do about my hike up Pica Moonshine. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you want to be notified when I put out a new video. Thanks again.